In today's video, I'm going over two $100 per day keywords plus a bonus keyword for you to get into for Kindle Direct Publishing for the month of February. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, all in entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 keywords for you to get into for the month of February that have potential to earn you $100 per day or more on Kindle Direct Publishing. So there's going to be 2 keywords I talk about that actually can do that right now, and then the bonus keyword is going to be one to look forward to in the next upcoming months, because right now the numbers don't really show it. But from my experience publishing books within this keyword, it does have high potential for the upcoming months. So it's definitely one to stick around for. Anyways, guys, let's jump onto my computer. I'm going to show you the numbers for these 2 main keywords at the beginning, and then I'll show you the bonus keyword after that. So let's jump on my computer and get into this. So first things first, you can see on screen here is coding for beginners. And this is one that I looked up a while ago, and it wasn't doing as good as it is right now. And looking at the main things that we look at are the amount of results. Does it autofill the search bar, which it does right here, you can see. And is the average BSR lower than around 150 to 200,000? Okay, and the way that I'm checking this average BSR is through an extension called BookBeam, which is linked down below this video if you want to use it. So first things first, you can see coding for beginners, we have 6,000 results. Okay, and that's a little bit over what we usually look for. We usually look for around 5,000 results. But 6,000 you can definitely get away with and get into, and it definitely still has potential for you to compete with. So that we have that. After that, we're going to check the BSR, and after removing a couple of outliers, you can see this one's at 900K. This one right here is at 400K. So remove those guys, and that dropped us down to an average BSR of 114,000, which is very, very healthy and means there's a lot of demand for this particular keyword. The last thing I'm going to look at is the amount of competition that have high amounts of reviews. Okay, so looking at this first page here, you see the first ranking one has around 1,000 reviews, so that's definitely something to look at. And typically if there's a bunch of books with thousands of reviews, we want to avoid that keyword. But with this particular book, there's not a whole lot of books that have thousands of reviews once we scroll past the first couple of them there. You can see this one has 700, this one has 1,000. So after that, it's not actually that bad. So when it comes to these kinds of books, you can definitely make a 30,000 word book out of it. And if you're not someone who's experienced with coding, you can definitely find a bunch of ghostwriters on Upwork or any other website that provides ghostwriters. But I suggest going through Upwork. That's my number one. You can also go through something like Hot Ghostwriter. Find an expert that knows their stuff when it comes to coding and get them to create a book for you. Make an outline for them and get them to follow it. And definitely get a book that could be doing very well. You can see some of these books are making quite a bit of money. This one at the top, $100 per day, $50 per day. So they definitely have potential to make and earn you quite a bit of money when it comes to earning royalties through KDP. I do see these ones on Audible kind of, but since it's kind of a book you want to look at and learn from, it's not really a good audio option, but you definitely could put the book on Audible. It doesn't really hurt to get it on there and get additional sales through audiobook sales. Moving into keyword number 2, it is off the grid. And I've talked about this keyword a while ago, but I wanted to bring it back to your attention because it's doing even better now. And the amount of results still isn't very high. There's not a whole lot of competition when it comes to this off the grid keyword. And unfortunately, you can't really, I usually talk about 2 keywords you can bundle together. Can't really bundle coding for beginners and off the grid, but in this case, off the grid, it had the potential, so I wanted to point it out to you guys. So if you're interested in this kind of keyword, this kind of niche, this keyword is on the rise right now, in my opinion, and you can definitely get into it for the year. And off the grid kind of gets even hotter when it comes to the summer months. So the fact that it's doing this well, and I'm filming this in January right now, it's almost February, but the fact that it's doing this well in January shows me that it's definitely gonna have more potential in the spring and summer months. So if you can get in there right now and get prepared for it, you definitely are at an advantage in competing and getting sales with it. So looking at the results, it has around 5,000 results, so not too bad. The competition's pretty low. Looking at the average BSR, I didn't even remove any outliers, and it already has below 200K, so it's doing quite well. If I go in here and remove some outliers, you can see this one has 400K, so I can click that one off, and this one's 300K, so I'll click those ones off, but most of them are pretty solid 100K or below books in this niche, and you can see it's around 170,000 once I remove a couple of outliers. So the demand for this book is there right now, and in my opinion, it's going to get even higher as we progress through 2022. The last thing I'm going to look at is the amount of competition with high amounts of reviews. 150 on the first ranking one here. There is one with a very high amount right here, 4,000. But other than that, there's one with 1,000 here. There's not a whole lot of other books that have thousands of reviews within this keyword. So you can definitely get in there, compete with it. There's only 5,000 results, not 10,000 or anything like that. So you can definitely get in there and get your book in there and definitely compete and do well. This is one of those keywords that you can build a pretty big brand around as well, because Off the Grid is a little bit more general. If you look at all these books, you look at their titles, they're definitely subtopics within this kind of book. You can make additional spin-offs, additional books within, and build an entire like outdoors brand, okay? Like prepping for beginners, camping, outdoor, off the grid. You can see this one right here is like solar power. So it's a bit of a spin-off, RVs, vans. There's tons of different topics within the off the grid niche that you could get into and do very well for, build a brand around it, and make a solid amount of royalties based off of just this off the grid book that might get you kickstarted into this brand. So definitely a keyword to keep in mind, keep in the back of your head moving into 2022 and moving into February. So the bonus keyword, the final one I want to talk about here is Easter jokes for kids. And you can see the average BSR is pretty high for this right now. Even if I remove some outliers, so if I look in here, you can see there's a million, another million. So I could remove those two. And that's going to drop it to like 750K, but that's irrelevant right now. It's still January when I'm filming this, but I wanted to give you guys kind of the inside scoop. So in the past, I've published books within this, a similar niche to this, Easter related books. And when it comes to Easter, which is kind of an April thing, obviously, these kind of books do very, very well. And since it's just starting to be February, it's the perfect time to start making these books. So I wanted to remind you guys, you can see Easter Jokes for Kids, for example, has only 3,000 results. And the books in here, there are some that have quite a few reviews to compete with. But other than that, lots of them don't have even over 50 reviews. So if you can get into this niche, create a couple books because they're pretty cheap. They're pretty short. Okay, you'd hire a joke ghostwriter, comedy ghostwriter to write them for you. Maybe make a series of 3, 4 of them. Publish them within the next month or so. Get them out there, get reviews on them, and get them established so you're ready for April once Easter comes around. You will see quite a big spike in sales. Even though this BSR is high right now, this BSR will go very low when it comes to maybe mid-March, April area, when Easter becomes kind of a hot thing. So I wanted to bring this up with you guys just so you have the inside scoop so you can get in there and beat out other people who are going to get late to it. Because a lot of people will make these kinds of seasonal books too late. So right now is the perfect time to start brainstorming this and start making them and getting them ready for when the season comes around. So I want to mention this one. So hopefully you guys enjoy that one. I know it's not in demand right now, but trust me, it's worth getting into and getting started for once the season comes around, or the holiday, whatever you want to call it, when Easter comes around in April. So anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Before I let you go though, I want to mention I do have a 100% free Facebook group that's all about self-publishing. So if you're brand new to self-publishing and you're looking to get into it, this is the perfect resource for you to get into right now. It's a group with a bunch of other self-publishers. You can ask any questions you have, and it's a great place to learn, network with other like-minded individuals. I'm in there, I answer questions all the time, and when you join the group, there is a pin to the top, there's a PDF, my 5-step guide to getting started with self-publishing. So if you're brand new, it's the perfect guide to get into it and start learning all of the basics. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. I try to post new videos every single week about self-publishing, on entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, again, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's video. Peace.